Yo, what is up? This is DevineYGO, and we got my boy Johnny, and he's gonna be giving a deck profile on his SWORDSOUL Tenyi deck. So, just before we get into this video, what are your thoughts on this deck in today's format?
I think it's really good. I think the deck overall can play through some matchups. I think personally, my hardest matchups had have been Rizal, Fiendsmith, because of the fact that they just recur too fast, and the obviously Mitsurugi, Fiendsmith, because of the fact that like their recursion's a lot better. Malice matchups, it's not as bad because I need my stuff to be banished too. So I have one strategy against them, which I'll explain when I get to the card. But yeah, Rizal is like my hardest matchup, and I haven't tried against the Primite Blue Eye stuff yet.
Okay.
But I think it would be just as hard. But I really think this deck can be really good.
You think it can be? You think it can compete with the meta decks right now?
100%, 100%. I always get told that it's usually just who pilots the deck, you know. Like as everyone knows, like at that one YCS, that one guy playing the Fire King deck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he showed with the right cards and right combination and the right mindset that like you can like win big events like that. So this is what I'm doing with SWORDSOUL.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so let's hop into this profile.
What does it do on top?
So for the SWORDSOUL engine, you got 3 Ecclesias. It's good going first. It's way better going second because it helps play through hand traps better. Got 3 Moes, just standard. Like she's really good whenever she resolves to be able to add more.
Hope you don't want to rip this card. It's the only card I want to rip off.
Long Yao, I think
You're gonna try his effect?
it's good. I was thinking of cutting it to 2 because of the fact that seeing 2 of them at the same time is just kind of annoying. But I figured that like these 9 are like the best starters because if you get if you get this out, then like you get like 2 additional draws whenever you go into the Chisho stuff. So that's really good.
Oh, what's your deck count actually?
45.
45. Oh, okay.
And then 1 Taya. A lot of decks are playing it at 2. Or like a lot of lists I've seen played at 2. I'm playing it at 1 because it's not as good. Like when it comes to like 1 card combos and stuff, these 9 do a good job. Taya just requires like an additional setup, which you can do, but it's just this is like a last resort thing.
Have you ever found yourself missing the second copy?
Not at all. It's really good, and it's an easy out to SP.
That's true.
For the Tenyi line, I go 3D issues. You got the 2 Suruyas. I really wanted to play it at 3 because I feel like it's really good to be able to see into and open. But a lot of deck listers are playing at 2, and I can definitely see why, because you definitely go off this. And then back to the SWORDSOUL thing, like this is the setup I'm talking about. Like if you have this, Taya becomes like unstoppable because you go this, and then link it off for Monk. You summon this, and then like you don't even need to use the effect. You can just effect banish it, and then just summon this, and then you're good. And then there's a route that I usually do sometimes when I see this combo, where I can go into a Basha, a Yangzing Basha, reborn this, and then use the effect.
Okay.
So it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. This is what makes like she makes SWORDSOUL push through a lot of things. Honestly, whenever I see this, I know this is gonna come out, and I know it's gonna resolve 100% of the time because of the fact that like this is just too good. It's like if you get nibbed, then you can just be like summon one of the level 4 Tenyis, and then if this is in hand, you can just special summon it.
So would you play 3?
What am I scared of?
Like realistically, optimally, would you play 3?
I think in the future people are gonna find ways to play this at 3, but right now playing it at 2 is really good because if you open it, you open it. If you don't open it, it's always searchable.
Okay.
So I think that's always like a good thing. But honestly, playing a third will probably come up one of these formats. Now, the rest of my lineup for teams is a bit weird. We play the one Adhura, the one Vishuddha, one Shatana, one Mahura. These are considered bricks.
Okay.
This is only good when you are going second, and if you open this going second, that's like really good. You can definitely argue that the other two are good at going second too, because I've definitely had games against Rizal where I would special summon this, go into monk, go into my other place. They would pop the monk. They would attempt to pop the monk with the detonator, and I would just go this, negate and destroy.
Okay.
And it's always good. This is the similar idea. The reason I'm playing one of each is because realistically, I would want to play just the Adhura at 2 and have these at once, because Adhura is really good for that recursion again.
Okay.
But these 3, it was really tough because I just felt like yeah, it's a level 7, you can go into the level 1 easy, but it's like it's uncommon majority of the time that you do it, and if you do it, it's because you just didn't have any starters. But if anything, this is just like a good 1-card, 2-card setup. My hand trap count, it's the 3 Ashes, 3 Veilers, 3 Mourners, 3 Imperms, and 2 Trolls. I like this hand trap lineup a lot. These could be substituted to be nibs. I would rather have these be nibs, but I found a lot of success with the Trolls because whenever I went up against like rogue decks, like this was like always like an instant scoop for them. And then against Rydell, this just slowed them down. Like I love it when they go Fiendsmith first, and I'm just like, okay, draw and res of your track, and then they can't do anything afterwards. Like it's just an easy board to break after.
Okay.
Nib is really good too, but I just feel like the reason why I would switch these out for nibs is because it impacts the game a little bit better.
Yeah.
But this is like only like slows down decks. And then to round up the monsters, we got
Of course.
and a lot of Sword Soul decks are considered Sword Soul Protoss Turbo. And to all the Sword Soul players that do Protoss Turbo, don't be ashamed of it.
Don't be ashamed.
If your opponent can't out a Protoss, they're just shit. Like in all honesty, they're bad. A lot of matchups where they let me full combo and stuff, I always end on this, and I'm just like, if they play Rizal, I'm like lights, and I shake their hand. If they're playing Malice, I'm like darks, I shake their hand. I had this one interaction where I had a Heavenly Circle in my hand, and I was playing against water, like Atlantean Emerald, and I had my Changing, the level 10 water, and I went summon, attempt to activate effect calling waters. He attempts to impermit, and I'm just like Heavenly Circle attributed for cost.
That's crazy.
And it resolved, and he couldn't do anything.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's super good. It's super good. Weird take. Malice people aren't playing this in their decks, and I feel like they're stupid because like this, like they play enough attributes to make this work, and I highly recommend that Protoss goes into Malice.
Okay.
Traps. The only traps that I had was the Imperms, and the other one is just Blackout. My spell lineup. I just want to start with these because I feel like every deck runs them. Like every deck does run these, and I feel like it's really good. I would play a second talent over the Callby, and really crazy hot take. But if I had to take another card out, I would take another one of these out. Yeah, just so then I could have the double talent, because like talent has allowed me to play through so much BS. Because like you just take monster, draw 2, look at hand. So like, and the Callby is always just good. It's just always good to see. But I I would take this out because of the fact that a second talent would be better than a 1-of. Because if I could play this if I wanted to play this at 3, I would, because I would rather brick on this because it actually will be useful. But then this is still good. So for my Tenyi lineup for spells, I play 1 Vessel and then 2 Circles. A lot of people play this at 3, and I can see why, because of the fact that they want to be able to see into it. This is really good. But you play this. so this at 2 is really good because of this. Because you can just search this. This is really good because it just made the deck be able to play through like BS like Nibiru. Like Nibiru was our biggest problem because of the fact that we couldn't find we didn't have a way to play through it. But with the field spell and her, like these 2 cards are the reason why we can play through Nib.
Okay.
Like Droll is still a problem at some points, but it's like Droll's Droll. I'm just happy that we just found a way to just play through a Nib. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I'm talking really heavily about Nib because like Nib impacts this deck like way too much. So then when you go here, you add this. If you get nibbed, you have you'll have the Ashuna engraved, which gets you this. If not, you can dump the Ashuna, and you know what this is? If you have a non-effect monster, you can add. Thank you for nibbing me. You just allowed me to extend further. You just allowed me to extend further. Realistically, a lot of deck lists play Vessel at 2 as well. But I was just like, having it at 1's not bad. Having it at 1's not bad. Because you typically only want to use it once.
Okay. So I assume you haven't missed the second one?
No. Okay. My Sword Soul lineup, for the spells at least, 3 emerges.
Yeah, standard.
Standard. If you play 2, like some deck lists do, you're dumb. I don't know why the hell you think playing this at 2 is okay. Like you know what's crazy? I saw a deck list that played her at 2.
Moyi at 2?
Yeah, and I was like, that's dumb. Like you wanna lose. This is a mandatory at 3. If you play this at 2, then just don't play the deck. If the only way you play this at 2 is because you can't afford the 3rd one. And I'm just like, that's not possible. And then the last card in the deck is the summon. If I wanted to cut any cards, it would be one for the talent, like I was talking about. It would be this or the that. Because this is good to dodge stuff and extend. This is good to like recur stuff and like make sure you have like a better board. But it's not needed. It's really not needed.
Well, could you argue that these would probably be good for the deck instead of the 2nd and 3rd talents, so you have a better grind game?
You can argue it. Me as a player, I just don't like grind games. Like if I'm gonna win, it's because I established a board that you couldn't beat. If I'm gonna lose, it's because of the fact that I just didn't want to grind. And like typically my playstyle is that I don't want to grind with you. The only
hit hard and hit fast.
Yeah, I just want to be able to like, if I'm gonna win. If I'm gonna lose. So like I want to eliminate cards in this deck that lessens that type of like opportunity.
So what you're saying is essentially if you play against an opponent or a deck that manages to force you into a grind game, how do you fare against that?
Obviously that's where like this and the second Heavenly Dragon Circle comes in. But if I ever see myself in positions where I have to be in a grind match, then honestly, I don't know. It really depends on like the situation you're in too.
The board state.
Yeah, depends on board state stuff. But realistically, what I would do is that having the summit and the Heavenly Circle would eliminate that factor that it wouldn't be a grind match anymore. It would just be like I have extension.
Okay.
But again, like I want to eliminate cards in this deck that would lessen that opportunity of a grind match. The extra deck, Monk. A lot of people are playing it at 3. I definitely see why, because the 2, there's just 2 like you can out this thing like whatsoever. But What can I say? There's nothing else I can say about it. Like it's such a good thing for the deck. It doesn't do enough by itself, but like it complements the other stuff that I'm gonna show you. The one shaman and then this guy.
Jesse good for 300.
Yeah, that guy's annoying.
Yeah. When you have an non-effect monster, kind of like I read this thing like it's like semi good. It's actually really good because rereading it so many times, your opponent isn't allowed to target effect monsters.
Yeah.
I thought this only meant for me, but it's like if they have stuff that targets their monsters too, they can't do it.
Oh, so it's just in general.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Like your opponent can't target effect monsters on the field regardless.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the freaking Azamina fusion.
Yeah. This is our version of it.
Yeah.
Your end board always is gonna have this.
Okay.
If it doesn't, then like that's fine too. But he's your double-edged sword. This is your Saint Azamina, but at the same time, it comes with like a really big cost because the regular combo line is like you use the new Tenyi Spirit, and that Tenyi Spirit allows you to special summon any link monster, but you take life points equal to its link rating by 1,000, which is why this is like it's a link 4. You're losing 4,000.
Yeah, half your health gone.
So it's a double-edged sword, but it usually comes up as like a really easy way to establish board dominance. The one Yazi, standard. Yeah.
Now,
This thing has helped me out so many BS things. Like a detonator, you can't detonate this.
Yeah.
Try to detonate this. Try to detonate this. The only way I've been able to go into this is the Taya and then banishing one of these. So then I can reduce the level of like a monster, which isn't bad. But at the same time, it's not optimal.
Yes.
But it definitely comes up. I play 2 bosses, which is again standard. And back to what I was saying about like Taya being really good, is that if you have the Ashuna and the Taya, you combo, you go into this because you don't use the Taya effect yet.
Yeah.
This effect, bring back the Taya effect then. So they won't be able to out it. If they hold that Emperor, then yeah, that's okay. You got the 2 Chichaos.
That's standard.
Standard. A lot of people tell me that if I'm going to be against Ash, I should do this as chain 1 and Moyi as chain 2, because you would want to add like whatever specific card you want.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, well, I want the draw too. I want to be able to, cause like regardless of what you do, you're always adding something. Either you draw it or you add it off this. Which I'm just like, I would rather draw than add a Sword Soul Immortals. At least if I'm trying to get into something, the Moyi draw will get me into it. And then these guys, really good. This is like back to like that grind match. If this is the card I want to see through a grind match, this is. If I have to be for real, like on a real, I would change this for the Grimir. Yeah, I would switch it to the Grimir because of Malice matchups. Because the Grimir would protect my board through like banishment and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is good too.
This is not the game.
The 2 generic 8s that I play with. This has helped me out Ryzel so much because if I get this out and I see a combination of the dual driver and the detonator, I could just be like battle phase, attack. I believe the gaining would happen in the damage step.
The gaining?
Yeah, the gaining attack would happen in damage step. I think so. Berserker helps a lot. It's just to be able to outwards because it just attacks multiple times. And the fact that it can gain attack points to be able to out bigger things is pretty good too. And then best thing that ever happened to the deck. Honestly, this is the best thing that's ever happened to the deck because like this allows us to get into that field spell, and then this allows us to extend.
Yeah.
It's so good. Dragite, just a good spell negate. I honestly don't know what else I could play over this. Like, yeah, I could play the Grimir, but I want to be able to go into more 8s than I do 10s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is really good. And yeah,
And then Typhon.
You got the SWORDSOUL Typhon.
SWORDSOUL Typhon.
No, but this is really good. It just generically outboards. A lot of people before used to do obviously like this was an SP. I kind of want to do that still because I feel like SP is still pretty good.
I mean, the targeting protection is good though.
Yeah, it is. It is. The side deck that I have, it'll look I promise you, it won't look impressive. But when I explain like the mindset of it and the thought of it, then like it'll be pretty degenerate. 3 judgments.
Yep.
I was originally on warning because with how the meta is, like it's really a warning was really good into Ryzel and Malice because like they go like effective Malice monster and banish to summon. Nope, warning.
Yeah.
Or if they go normal summon Ice Ryzel, effective Ice Ryzel, summon from deck. Yeah, nope. But a little birdie told me and said that I was an idiot for playing that because losing 2,000 is just not as optimal as it should be. And I'm just like, it's because I don't want to lose in like in like game 3 situations,
That's
or like game 2 scenarios. That same person also told me their extra deck is Lakes or Xyz monsters, so they're gonna inherit some of the lot. So just play this. I was like, yeah, fair. And the thing too is that like this will always go off because you're only losing half. You're not losing 2,000. The second you're below 2,000, then warnings crap.
Yeah, that's true.
Sticking with the Psalms though, strikes.
Strikes are good. Strikes are really good.
Strikes are amazing. Just having that ability to just negate that monster effect is like really good. What I wanted to do was play 3 strikes, 3 judgments, 3 warnings.
That's
or
fine.
like 2 warnings, or like even 2 warnings. If the deck gets shifted and I don't win game 1, I'll just be like, okay, if I'm playing against shifter or like even draw or like nib, right? I'll decide like 9 cards that say you can't activate that effect, you can't summon that, you can't activate this effect, you can't summon that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I might give it a go because of the fact that like it's actually not a bad lineup. Then we got the standard 3 Lancias.
Yeah.
Encore.
Good card.
And then the last thing. Yeah.
That's fair.
This is what I probably would take out for Chaos Hunter. Generic staple is really good. I realistically should be playing thrusts as well so I can get these easier, but I'm just like, if I see these, I see these. But yeah, that is my SWORDSOUL deck list. Thank you for tuning in into my buddy's channel, and yeah, I mean, it's not, honestly, it's really good. I like it. I wish I knew more ways to make this better, because realistically, the way I have it right now is like I personally like it. If you have any suggestions and stuff, like put it down in the comments and just like criticize it as much as you want.
All right, thank you so much for the deck profile, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Later.